All right, hello everybody. So we are going to be doing some stuff here. Just need to get me started. All right, so let me just make sure we're actually up and running. All right, testing the audio. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're rolling. Let's make sure this is working. I'm working on a new laptop here, so it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. So let's see if we get some audio also. All right. Okay, so let's get back to we had to do a test. So seems like both audios are working. So what I've done is I've loaded a sound clip from a record that I've recorded into Edison. The way you get to Edison, let's go back to, you need to go to your mixer, and you selected open slot, and you can click on the slot and you hit Control E. Control E will automatically load up Edison. And so that's where we're at right here. And then you can load a sample by clicking the little disk button here. And then what I've done is if you double click, that'll create a little line here. And I'm left clicking and holding and dragging, right clicking, edit, and then cut. So let's just cut this out. I'm gonna talk kind of in a hushed voice because it's late night and everybody is off for bed. We're doing some late night editing here. So my goal is to just trim from B-sides of different reggae albums, and until I can learn how to do all the sound effects myself, I'm just gonna trim them from several albums. Okay, so we've gotten to a point in the song that I kind of like, so I'm gonna rolling my mouse wheel down, which kind of changes the scale of the song. And I'm gonna right click, edit, cut, and you can zoom back in by rolling the mouse wheel up. That zooms in on the timeline. Then I get to a spot where I decide that's as much as I would like. I'm going to double click. That creates a little line at that time. Roll the mouse wheel back down. And I can see the line right here. I'm going to left click. That'll make the selection. You drag it all the way off and get rid of the rest of the song that you don't want. Edit and cut. So now you're just left with a little clip. All right, so we have a selection we want. So now we're going to go File, Save Sample As. And we've got our sound library. We have a dub cuts. We're going to call it 001 in case we trim some more off the song. And because I need to load this to the internal SSD. I'm using an external SSD, and you can see how much longer the save time is. Okay, so rather than reloading the sample again, you can right click and click Edit, Undo Cut. Then you can zoom back in on the selection and trim it the other direction. So I have double clicked. Now I'm going to zoom timeline, and I'm cutting the part that I had just saved. And now I'll continue on the song. So I'm using my mouse wheel to adjust this timeline here. So I kind of get rid of that spot right there. I kind of like this part right here, so let's see how this sounds. Okay. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just finding little cuts of music that I think are kind of interesting, and then I'm going to trim them and save them. So this, until I learn how to do all these effects myself, you can save time by just looping other people's work. And then eventually, when you're good enough, you can make your own effects. But basically, all these little pieces will be nice to put into songs. And also, you can layer different melodies over each other and see how they sound and come up with a completely unique sound based on two different melodies. So it's kind of time consuming, but it's also good to go through songs and listen to different things and find stuff you like. And it's got to a spot where the record skipped. So that might be just about it for this record here. Like I said, I really need to save this onto the main hard drive on the computer. That's why you're seeing the lag here, is because I'm using an external SSD, which is fast, but could be faster. So this last part might be a mess. Little piece right there. It's kind of interesting sounding. Let's grab that. It's kind of a little skip, but that might kind of sound interesting in a dub. So we'll cut that out and see what that looks like. Okay. So I know it doesn't sound like much, but sometimes you can make some really interesting effects from something like that. What you can do is slow it down, you change the mull on it, and reverse it, and you'll get a completely different sound out than what originally went in. Okay, and it's gonna be that song. Okay, so I've been mostly going with the B sides. So we just did the juggling. Here we go, Terror Fabulous dubwise. Alright, let's see what this sounds like. One from out the beginning.
Behold how good and pleasant it is for I and I together in perfect unity, and give honor and glory unto He that is mighty. Jah, nowhere send us your love, oh Jah, 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 love, oh Jah, Jah.
So it looks like it starts right about there. So we'll cut it from there. Oops, it's not a good cut. So again, I'll right click, edit, cut. There's kind of a couple things. So I think I'm actually going to take two things here. I'm going to take this piece here. I'll save that as one spot. Okay. And then I also like the kind of noise that was going on in the background on that one, so I think I'll save that as well. Oops. Didn't want to do that. See, just right click, edit, and undo, and you can undo all your mistakes. So yeah, what I'm trying to do is not have voice rolling, but I want to hear that noise. So let's go. I think it starts right about here. It might still be some voice in there. Yeah, so let's go to this one. It's amazing how sound, you can see it just repeats in these interesting little patterns. And it's almost like a little cricket, huh? So I'm not sure what. Okay, let's take it from there and just be pure cricket noise with no horn. Alright, so we got here. Yeah, it's perfect. It's such interesting sound. Alright, and then I think I'll do another cut with the little tail at the end there. I like the tail as well, but I wanted to have the cricket sound by itself. That's how I describe that sound. It's almost like an electric cricket. Alright, so let's do another one where we actually keep. I don't want to trim this out. See, I think I almost want to do from right there. I think I want this as its own separate sound. And then we'll take it again as a bigger piece. It's an interesting little piece right there. Oh, that's not working very well for me. There we go. All right. So I think we'll wrap it up in a little bit, but you get the idea. Basically, what I'm going to do is I have a whole bunch of records, and I'm going to go through the B-sides of the records and listen to the dub stuff and the cutout stuff I like, because it'll save a lot of time in doing a production. So it's real time consuming. This is how you break up a song to do a mix also. So you go through and break it into unique areas where the song changes. Let's say about right there it changes. Right. So I think we will stop shortly, finish this song up, and we'll call it good. It's just going to be pretty repetitive from here on out. I like this setup with the new microphone, and it sounds pretty good. It'll work especially for late night. Alright, so you just keep on going and find transitions in the song and kind of cut them into little components that you like. That's a classic one right there. It's like kind of a crashing right there. So let's go ahead and ooh, what did I just do there? Okay. These are little effects that I have no idea how to use yet. I use about 1/4% of what the software can do. Okay, so we'll cut it from about right there. So it's not terribly exciting, but until you know how to make all these effects yourself, it's just easier to work with the masters. And Brick Wall, Jammies, all of them have their own sound and their own unique things that they do. So it's kind of also really educational to go through all these songs and hear what the people did. You have to understand also the equipment that was being used. What they were able to achieve with much simpler equipment is incredible. Again, that's a good a crescendo of sound is maybe the way you describe it. Kind of a crash of instruments. Like that, and then it just goes back to that nice, smooth, kind of jazzy rhythm. You hear a lot of jazz and reggae and dub. Wow, I really need to get this loaded on the internal drive. That's what I will endeavor to do before the next live stream. All right.
Me get fi understand say behind closed door them all have groom by them side.
It's amazing once you get used to this, you can just see the sound changes and you don't even have to play it. You know there's going to be a transition just by the way the sound wave looks. Okay. Yeah, what I want to do is get rid of that little spike at the end. Alright, it's nothing fancy. This is what you have to do to build up a dub library of kind of unique sounds that you want to just trim from. So eventually when I get done, I'll have hundreds of little clips and I can go through and assemble. If I'm making a song and I want to throw in a dub element, then I can just take any little piece. So just the easiest thing I find is I just step back, step back, step back. Okay. So let's start from there. So the reason I zoom out each time is it's much easier to make the selection to cut. If you're super zoomed in, like, watch how long. Well, hold on. Look how long it takes to scroll. It just takes forever. So the easiest thing to do is you zoom it all the way back, make your selection, and you grab a huge chunk at once. Because what happens is you can see the line, and so you know where to click the left click from and drag.
them a flex. Hide. Me get the understand say behind closed door them all have groom by them side. Certain a fuck a figure hide. Come here say them a flex like a bride.
Alright, a little spot right there. So that's how you do it. It's nothing fancy. You just gotta power through it. So I think we're gonna end it here. It's gonna get pretty repetitive. Or, maybe we'll finish out the song. Then every night or two, we'll do a couple songs together, trim them out, and listen to them. So this is Brickwall Records, Disrespectful, Terror Fabulous, Dubwise, 1996. Alright, so I think that'll wrap it up. We're just basically using the FL Studio to trim out little pieces from classic reggae dub records. And we're gonna hopefully have that kind of get us ahead making our own music, and we'll use their elements. And then hopefully down the road we'll learn enough things that we can start making our own dub elements. So everybody have a good night. I think we're gonna wrap it up there. And thank you very much. I want to say a special thank you to all my customers. I really appreciate it. And allows me to do fun and interesting things in FL Studio, Image Line. I want to say thank you. It's really a nice opportunity to use this software. So I think we'll wrap it up there. Everybody have a good night.